22nd, 1941, the largest invasion in human history begins. Operation Barbarossa. Over 3 million Axis soldiers pour across the Soviet border, launching a brutal war of annihilation. In our timeline, the Soviet Union survived, pushed back, and eventually raised their flag over Berlin. But history hangs on a knife's edge. What if the German panzers had captured Moscow before the winter of 1941? What if Joseph Stalin's regime collapsed and the Soviet Union fell? If the USSR had been conquered, the world today would be unrecognizable. We would be living in a terrifying reality, dominated by a massive Nazi empire stretching from the Atlantic Ocean to the Ural Mountains. To understand what a conquered Russia would look like, we must look at Hitler's actual master plan, General Plan Ost. This was a calculated plan for total demographic engineering and genocide. Hitler did not want to rule over Russian cities. He wanted them gone. According to his orders, Moscow and Leningrad were to be completely leveled. In their place, German engineers planned to build massive artificial lakes, wiping the historic capitals of Russia off the face of the earth forever. Over 30 to 45 million Slavic people were marked for systematic elimination or forced deportation into Siberia. The remaining population would be denied education and medicine, turned into a permanent class of illiterate forced laborers to serve the new German masters. With the Soviet armies crushed, Nazi Germany would unlock the greatest prize of the Eastern Front, the oil fields of Baku and the Caucasus. In our timeline, Hitler's tanks ran out of fuel, trying to reach these resources. But in this alternative reality, German panzers are refueled by an endless supply of Soviet oil. This single victory would transform Nazi Germany into an invincible global superpower economic empire. The Third Reich would control nearly all of Europe's grain, coal, iron, and oil. They would build Berlin into Welthauptstadt Germania, the massive, megalomaniac capital Hitler always dreamed of. With the continent's economy forced to work for the Nazi war machine, the British blockades would become completely useless. With Soviet resources locked down, Great Britain would find itself isolated. With German U-boats cutting off Atlantic supply lines, London would be forced to sign a humiliating peace treaty or face invasion. Meanwhile, across the ocean, the United States would face a terrifying nightmare. A massive, nuclear-armed Nazi empire controlling 2 entire continents. A brutal global Cold War would begin between the United States and a victorious, Greater Germanic Reich. The world would be trapped in a permanent Nazi dark age. Comment below. Could the Allies have ever won without the Soviet Union?